Hi guys, it's Jamie and Jazz here with Brand Creations, the pod, episode 3, and today we're talking about money and can money buy happiness? What do you think, Jazz?
I'm getting straight in.
You're going
yeah, that's fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Do you want to finish your question?
What do you think, Jazz? Sorry, I didn't know what part I did not. Sorry, what do you think, Jazz?
It's like I've got like two kind of answers. I think money can buy happiness, however, not in like the physical sense. Do you get what I mean?
Not at all.
Okay, like money obviously buys things. You can buy stuff with money, which makes you happy, but it's kind of like an instant gratification thing. If you buy something, if I bought a new pair of shoes, I'd be happy, but it wouldn't last very long.
Yeah.
But I think money takes away a lot of stress from people's lives, which makes them happy.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's money buys happiness in the sense that you could go out and spend loads of money. I don't think that necessarily makes you happy for a long amount of time, but having money takes away your stresses, which makes you happier.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, me and Chloe were talking about it last night, and we were saying, because we were talking about the lifestyle that comes with the money. So, like, 3 years ago, we would have, like, loved to be on the money we're on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, we weren't bad off or anything, but, like, you know, we felt like we had to budget a little bit more and stuff like that. And we still have to budget now, but the thing is, we're on, like, money that a lot of people would like to be on. We're not rich or anything, but we you know, we're on good money. Yeah, we're comfortable. But it's like, we will still sit there at the end of the month and be like, oh shit, we've got no money.
Yeah.
But then you look back at the month and it's like, well, we went for lunch every week. Like, we went for lunch, we went for dinner, we bought dinner here, we bought this, we bought that. Like, your lifestyle goes up with the money that comes in. So as much as, yes, it does relieve some stresses, and if you're quite strict with it, which is the best way to be, then it does do that. But I find, like, a lot of people, when the money comes in, the lifestyle goes up. Yeah. And then, so then actually you do still have similar stresses because you're looking at a more expensive house. Yeah. You're looking at nicer cars. Like, but
then you could also say that, say you go for dinner every week and stuff like that, and then at the end of the month you're like, oh, I don't have any money, but at least you didn't have the stress and you had the leniency of, we can go and do this, we can go and do that.
Oh yeah,
but
no, definitely.
I feel like even if you get more and more money, as you said, your lifestyle changes, you spend money on different things, you spend more money, so you're always still going to want more. Yeah. Because at the end of the month you're still going to be like, oh, I still have no money. Yeah. Because you have the money, but you've spent it. Yeah. And I think, like, there's a lot of families that would, like, they would be able to make money go a lot further. And I also find, like, when you do start to get a bit of money, and then all of a sudden you hit the end of the month and you haven't got any, it actually feels worse sometimes because it's a much bigger drop. Yeah. Like, because then all of a sudden you can't live the same lifestyle for, say, a week. Yeah. Until you get paid again, kind of thing. Like, whereas when you're sort of living that same way each time, normally you sort of budget it so it lasts across the thing. Whereas, like, again with us, normally we do like 3.5 weeks of just whatever we want, and there's just the last half a week where we've got to be like, alright, we just got to, like, calm down for a bit kind of thing, But, and it feels sometimes a little bit more drastic because you were like, oh my god, we had so much money to start with. Where's it gone? Yeah. Then you start scrolling through your bank and it's like, oh, Tesco, Co-op, like all of that sort of stuff, Deliveroo and lunch and like, it adds up quick, And then obviously, like, with the food shop and that going up at the minute. But I do think it buys happiness because I think it gives you the freedom. Yes. Because freedom equals happiness, but to get freedom you do need money. Yeah. It's same stuff like, I can't drive, so I don't have that freedom of driving. Whereas if I would then be able to drive, I would have more freedom, which would bring me more happiness. Yeah. Like, it's the same with, like, kind of anything that gives you freedom doesn't in turn give you happiness.
Yeah.
But it's also the same with, like, I feel like some celebrities who might, like, get a load of money, like, real quick and they're not used to it, that then can lead to, like, drugs and stuff like that. Some people, if you get a lot of money, it's like, what do I do with this? And then you spend, and then it's like, oh, you might then be in a bad situation because people don't know how to handle money when they get it.
But that's not always necessarily money, because that depends on your personality, because I mean, there's so many people without money now, but they will do everything to get drugs.
True.
Like, so, you know, so it's one of those, it's a lot more accessible when you've got money. Obviously, you can go buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I think that then goes on to the personality of someone.
Yeah.
And how they actually are as a person.
Yeah.
Dependent on, and less dependent on the money they actually bring in, kind of thing. Because there's a lot of people that choose to do a lot of good things with their money, you know, and then there is a lot of people that choose to do bad things, but that's the same whether you've got money or not.
True, yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, the people that have got the money have got the freedom to live the life sort of more relaxed, more, you know, they've got more freedom to go out and do what they want to do when they want to do it, you know. So that's what I think, it does, because everyone wants to have as much freedom as possible. Everyone wants to spend as much time with their family and all of that, and money gives you that, you know. Whereas having no money, it doesn't.
No.
You know, because you're just waiting for the next pay packet.
I think as well, when you get money, because it takes away the stresses, even if your life doesn't necessarily change that much, people get to appreciate what they already have. I feel like because money causes a lot of stresses, people might have, like, family, friends, stuff like that, but people might not appreciate them and their lives as much if they don't have the money, because that's what they're constantly thinking about. They're constantly stressing about the money. So once you take that out of the equation, you can then still appreciate what you have.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing that sort of is a downer to, you know, with the not necessarily family, but with the friend side of things, if you start to say you started making a lot of money, then, you know, then you went out, say, on a Friday night, you know, how much would be expected of you to pay for it, you know, because you've got a lot more money than them. And then, so it's like, then you're sort of giving it out because they expect it, because they're your friends. So that's a different thing.
Like the downsides that come with money.
Yeah, there is a lot of downsides that come with money. As you said, the accessibility to the bad stuff, because it's very expensive. People...
Your relationships with people.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of people have always said, like, that have got a lot of money, is their trust with a lot of people has always been damaged, because they don't know whether they're there because of them or the money, kind of thing, which is a shame, because they could have been friends, you know, they could have been good friends or whatever, but if it was only because of their money...
Yeah, and especially, like, new people coming into your lives once you have that money, especially, like, relationships and stuff, that must be a very, like... hard thing to juggle, to be like, are they here because they actually like me, or do they just want my money? Which is quite scary. So there's a lot that money does bring as well in terms of stress, but I think it's like, for us, we just talk about the stress that it relieves in terms of, like, what we're sort of used to, the day-to-day sort of stuff. It makes food shopping a lot easier, it makes all that stuff a lot easier. But then when you start getting into the fact where you're actually making money, kind of thing, then it does bring a lot of downsides to it, because, you know, from what we're saying, then you might have to be sort of more isolated, because you don't know how to trust anyone, and that in turn limits your freedom, because you don't have the people to go and do the things you want to do. And you can't, you can't just go where you want to go and all of that, because people start to know you, people start to talk about you and that sort of thing. So it does come with a lot of downsides. So, like, in a way, in your close in your close circle of, like, your rent, like your bills and that sort of stuff, it helps a lot. Your everyday kind of...
your everyday life, it helps a lot. But then in terms of, like, your social setting... I think it does more damage, kind of thing. Because then people start separating. It's like, you're no longer like us.
Yeah.
You're, you buy nice stuff and it's like all of a sudden you're doing it to show off.
Yeah.
When really it's just, you're not, you just like that stuff and now you can actually afford it, Because there's not many people that will like celebrate the wins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just want to see you lose.
Yeah. People always want to drag people down.
Yeah. When they're here you go. Especially when they're unhappy with their own lives, and that's the thing. So it's, so there is the downside to that, actually, which I sort of didn't think about.
Neither.
No. But which must be hard, I think, to not come from that.
Yeah, and especially if you're like, your life hasn't been surrounded by money, you didn't grow up wealthy, and then you come into money, so the people around you most likely were at the same financial situation as you were at, and now you're doing well. You could see your friends struggling, and you want to help them, but then you don't want that thing of, okay, are they still here just because I can help them and just because I have money now, and like the expectations rise for you. And like, even if I had money, I'd be traveling everywhere, because that's what I personally would want to do with my money. But then people would be like, oh, look at her, she's off again. Like, people would talk down upon you because they think you're looking down upon them, and realistically you're not.
You're just living your best life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But people don't like to see you doing that.
No.
Because, like, chances are, as you say, you went to school with them, so you were in the same boat as them a few years ago.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, you're living the life that they would actually love to live.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to do that. They're like, well, it's easier to bring you down for it, you know? And that's, So you get a lot of hate, you get a lot of problems. I mean, there's always celebrities getting, like, hate on...
what they do with their money.
Yeah. And like how they then spend their life, because they've had money.
Yeah.
Like it then goes into their whole life and how they look and all of that just because they've got money.
And if you have, because money also brings you like status. So if you're like a billionaire, then you're obviously well known. So people will attack you for that and be like, well, look at you, you're spending money on this, 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 and this, and there are people out here without any. There is. But unfortunately, and they could be donating to charities and all that stuff, but the issue is you can't help everyone. Like, you can't be able to give everyone the money that they need. Just a single person can't do that, unfortunately. So it's like, well, yes, I am spending money on these things. And they would also like criticize what you are choosing to spend your money on. Well, if I have money and I want to spend it on this, I'm going to spend it on this. Just because other people can't do that, that's not my problem.
No.
Which is a hard thing to realise, but it's not.
Yeah. Alright, so this is a good one. So what do you think then about the fact that once you hit a certain bracket per year, your tax level goes up? So like at the moment, when you're on like a normal wage, you're on 20%, but then it goes up to like 40 to 50% for like the people that are making like a lot of money. Like serious money. What do you think about that?
I think it's okay, personally, because yes, the bracket or whether goes up, but the amount of money taken from a rich person, even though the percentage or whatever is more, it will still affect them the same as it taking away from someone who doesn't have any money. That's the reason they have that. So it still affects everyone the same, even though it might be more money. You're still being treated like everyone else.
Yeah, but you're not, because you've done well and you've done well for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, my opinion, you've done very well for yourself. You've sort of, you've broken the cycle. You're earning you're starting to earn a lot of money, and all of a sudden they start taking more money from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're getting punished. Because you're earning more, in my opinion.
But then I think you're not getting punished because I don't understand these things. But say I earn £1,000 a month and I get taken, £20 gets taken out of that £1,000. Or if I earn, I shouldn't have done this because I'm not good with these scenarios. If I earn £100,000 and £200 gets taken out of that, definitely that's really bad. But do you know what I mean? That £20 will affect me if I'm earning £1,000 the same way it's going to affect them. Even though it's more money, you're being treated the same because it's going to affect them two people the same way.
Yeah, but like because your example was quite way off.
Okay.
So I mean, you weren't too far off if it was £1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Roughly, give or take about 20 quid. That's not too far off. But say you were earning £10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would take, because you're earning over, I believe it's over £50,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right. They would take up to about, I think they'd take about 45%.
Okay.
Right. So the person earning £1,000, which is like a job, that's it. They go to work, they go home. That's sort of it.
Yeah.
To you earning £10,000 a month because you've pushed really hard, you've got to give away £4,500 every month.
But that's not going to affect me that much because I'm earning £10,000 a month.
Yeah, it is, and that still leaves you with £5,500 a month, which isn't a bad problem to have. But why should you have to give up £4,500 of your hard-earned money?
Yeah.
Right, and then other people only have to give away £20
because it's still going to affect me in the same way. It doesn't matter about the price.
No, because if you earn £1,000 and £20, if you earn £1,020,
that £20,
the £20 goes to tax.
Yeah,
but chances are you would say anyway, I earned £1,000 this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you said I earned £10,000 this month, but I had to pay £4,500 to tax.
Yes.
Right. That does make a huge difference.
Yeah, I get that. However, if I was living a £10,000 a month lifestyle, that £4,000 isn't gonna affect me that much. The same way £20 for £1,000 isn't going to affect you that much.
Yeah, okay, but then in that sense then, so say if you had to pay £20 a month tax, that would cost you, across the 12 months, that would cost you £240.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously that not many people pay that, but that's £240 a month. Yeah. A year, sorry.
Yeah.
Which is really not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they paid £4,500 a month, yeah, then they would be paying £54,000 a year in tax.
That is a lot of money.
Which is like two people's salary.
I understand that. However, that 200 and however much for the £1,000 a month, that could seriously affect that person, or it could not.
Yeah.
Because they obviously are living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have a lot of money. And the same goes for the other, the higher one. So I understand that it is so much money, and if I was in that position, I would be like, well, I'm not happy with this because that is so much of my money. However, I think it's not necessarily a good thing, but I understand the reasonings why it goes up the more money you get, because then you are being treated equally.
But I don't think you should be treated equally, because a lot of people have like, say if you got to the point where you are earning £10,000 a month, you have not traded the same amount of time to get to £10,000 a month as someone that earns £1,000.
I get that. However, I feel like sometimes the person who's working like £1,000 a month compared to the person working 10,000 is working harder in their day-to-day, or equally as hard as in their day-to-day life. Because if someone's earning £1,000 a month, that's not a lot of money. They're probably living paycheck to paycheck and stressing about their money. So they are working from the moment they get up in the morning to the moment they go to sleep, because they're constantly worrying about all these things. Where if I was working £10,000 a month, or earning that much a month, I am working very hard at my work, even though some people don't, but say you are. However, I still get to live a luxury lifestyle.
Yeah, but you also, I mean, like, there is some people that earn £10,000 a month, and as much as that sounds like a lot of money, they have to work so hard on that.
Yes.
And then that's when that's when I deem it as like a punishment.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that will work, like those sorts of people that earn that sort of money will work 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
Alright, they're just getting paid a lot more for it, but they're still putting in the same graft.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, on the weekends and their holidays are a lot more luxury.
Yeah.
I get that. But then, again, they deserve that, because they've...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the fact of... I just think the tax bracket should just be the same across the board. that's the only way to make it equal. Because if you still think, if you were earning £10,000 a month and they did a 20%, they're still going to take £2,000 a month from you.
Yeah.
Which is still a lot of money compared to someone paying £20.
Or I think they should keep it what's the...
20%.
20%. They could keep it at 20% for the... that could be like the highest one and then reduce it for the other people. So still have a difference, but have the maximum tax bracket, if you're earning £10,000 a month, be lowered.
But then you're in the same boat. So that's still not equal.
You are, but it still reduces the amount that the most make.
Yeah, it does reduce it, and I still think if you've got, I mean, if you were to look into how many people, say in England, were making 10k a month, it would be quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
So £2,000 from each of those people would still be a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's one of those, and then, but you also look at like the people that get paid that sort of money. So obviously the tax goes towards the NHS, everything like that, which is fine. But they're then the ones that don't want the NHS wait times. So then on top of that, they pay private.
But then that's their personal.
That is their personal choice, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I get that, and they've got the money to do that, which is a positive.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that, again, is that equal that they're paying for everyone else's NHS?
No, because they're still paying for themselves because they can still use it.
They can, but the thing is, I mean, like, most normal people would agree that the NHS wait time is long and, you know, the police and all that, and I get they're stretched, that's not blaming that.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that if everyone had the choice, a lot of people would go private because you get a lot better service.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, do you think it would be more fair to keep everyone on 20%?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But once you got to that level, you opted out of, say, the NHS side of things.
No.
No?
No.
No? Well, I mean, it's up to the government what they do with the money.
Yeah.
You know, so I think you're actually right. I think it's up to the government what they do with the money. As I said, it's not the NHS's fault. They haven't got enough money, and that's fine. But it's the... I think it's just... with the equality, it's got to be across the board. Pick a number, and everyone's got to work to it.
Because we're both talking about equality, and you think it's equal to have the same tax bracket for everyone, but then I think it's equal to have the same impact on everyone. Because if you were to take 20% out of a 10,000 person's paycheck, it'll be £2,000, which is a lot of money, but it probably doesn't affect them that much. However, if you were to take £20 out of £1,000, that will probably affect that person more than it would the 10,000.
Not necessarily.
Well, yeah.
It depends what they do with their money.
No, but for basic essentials in life...
I get now because everything's so high.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, no one's going to be on £1,000 a month now. But what I'm saying is, like, if that was the case, it depends what they would do with their money. So, like, because I know people that could be on £1,000 a month and make that go a hell of a long way.
Yeah, but say you had a family and kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, then that's... It won't go very far. But it's the same way that, like... So what's the difference then? Because when you have a family... Yeah. Whatever you're earning, you want your family to have the best. Yeah. You want your kids to have the best stuff, yeah? Now, I get there's a lot of people that can't, like, give their kids that because the money just isn't there, and I completely understand that. But then, again, shouldn't the people earning, say, £10,000 a month be able to give their kids the best, right? Without, again, they've lost some of their allocation for that because they've been taxed at a much higher bracket.
But the problem is that they are, even though they've get taken out £4,000, they still can give their children that with the money left over. Yeah.
Obviously, it's a much nicer situation to be in, to be left with £5,000. I'm not saying they've got a hard life.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't, like, well, I'm not saying they have or they haven't. But what I'm just saying...
They don't have a hard financial life.
No. But what I'm just saying is the fact that equally, if you were trying to do it equally across the board, like, what drives someone Like, we've had conversations with staff before, and they're like, Jamie, I don't want to do any more hours. Why? Because it'll just go to tax.
Yeah.
So what drives people to get out of that circle? Nothing. Because they just get taxed a hell of a lot more. You know? Like...
But that's kind of like the crossover between... Once you've passed that, then you still are benefiting from the work you do, because yes, you still get taxed more, but you still get more money. I feel like there's a crossover between, okay, I don't want to work anymore because I'm going to get taxed more and it's not going to benefit me, but then once you jump past that, it then still does benefit you.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, it does still benefit you, but then it goes into the fact that if you're, say, working a normal job, yeah, where you're getting paid £1,000 a month.
Yeah.
We're just doing that for an example.
Yeah.
Like, before anyone gets upset. That is normally a job that, and like, it's a job that most people could go and do. Like, if you left that job tomorrow, they would have someone in there the next day. Yeah? Like, it's not a highly skilled job, if that makes sense. Which I get, I'm not saying that's wrong, but it's just that's the truth of that sort of job bracket. But if you're on a £10,000 a month, then normally it comes with a lot of like more qualifications, or you've shown you are different to other people in terms of what you can do with your time. Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's why people get paid, because they're showing what they can do with their time. Yeah. So, like, say if you were earning £10,000 a month and I was earning £1,000 a month, you can clearly make your time work for you a hell of a lot better than I can.
Yeah.
So again, you are performing better than I am. And then that's where, again, you're being punished for that.
But I'm not necessarily being punished because I'm still earning more than you.
You are. But if you were earning 20%, if you had to take 20% for tax and I had to take 20% for tax, then it's completely equal.
But it's not, because I'm benefiting a whole lot more.
Yeah. Because you're providing a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, I will still get paid more than you would because I'm trading my skill for money. And I'm still going to be paid more than you will after tax, even if it was whatever. If it still goes up.
Yeah.
So that's more equal than just 20%, because 20% from me is not gonna affect me as much as it's 20% from you.
But it shouldn't be about affecting people.
But it should.
It should just be a flat number that everyone has to contribute.
No, because then it's equal.
But okay, right, yeah, no, that's fine. But then if we're talking about equality, and all of that sort of stuff, would you not feel that you were entitled to that money for trading your time for doing more valuable work?
But I'm still getting more money.
You are, but you're also losing a hell of a lot more money.
But it's not affecting me.
But it would. It
is, but not that much.
No, but it is still affecting you. You're still losing, say, £4,500 a month, right? Now, do you think that's equal? No.
Yes, because my £4,000 that I'm losing, what's that going to go on? Nice things, holidays, which yes, I'm entitled to because I've earned that money, but I can still get that from the £5,000 that I have left over. However, with someone with £1,000, that £20 isn't going to holidays and stuff. It's going to food, electricity, a roof over their head. It's going to their essentials in life. So that's why I think it's equal, because yes, you're taking more money from me, but for me it's not affecting me. It's not affecting my...
You can still get the basic necessities.
Yes, exactly.
You can still support yourself to live. Yeah. Which I get. But but this is then what we were saying is the fact of like money buying happiness.
Yeah.
If you generate money, then what you're saying is that you should only be able to enjoy it as long as, it doesn't matter how much money you've got, as long as you can put food on the table and you've got a roof over your head, then that's all that matters.
Well, it kind of is all that matters.
But then if I said to you, okay, but to be in a £10,000 a month job, there's a high chance you're in a high pressure environment. You have had to work to acquire a certain skill or experience or something like that. So should you not feel the benefits from that?
But the issue is I still am. That's my argument. I still am feeling the benefits because that £5,000 a month is going to give me a whole lot.
But it could be £8,000.
It could be more. Yeah. However, that's the greed that then we were talking about, that once you start earning money, you still want more. Because as humans in general, we are greedy people. Like, we always will want more. We always want the new things. We always want the best things. However, if you compare my life, if I earn £10,000 a month, when realistically say that's if I earn £5,000 a month, once tax is taken off, compared to your life, if you're earning £1,000 and £20 being taken off, I can't remember my point. I'm still living a good life.
Yeah, no, you are. And I get that. I completely get what you're saying. Yeah. Like, that is true.
I don't even really know what I just said.
Your life is still a hell of a lot better than that person that's on £1,000 a month in terms of, as you say, you haven't got the struggles and all that sort of stuff as much. But you are not being treated fairly because in terms of what you are having to trade to have that lifestyle.
I'm not...
When you've earned it. Because you've already traded your time, your experience. You know, a lot of people...
Dedication.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, say, the person who's got, a normal job has not traded that same time. Yeah?
Yeah.
But, so you should be different. And yes, okay, you are being paid a hell of a lot more. 5,000, 1,000 is still very good.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you are being punished because they won't be losing 40% of their wages. You know? They could have a cracking month and they still only lose 20% of their wages. Yeah? You have a cracking month and you lose 45% of your wage. You lose nearly half of your wages. That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's so much money. And if I was in that situation, I would not be happy.
Yeah.
However, when you compare it, yes, I'm not being treated equal personally because, yes, you're taking so much money away from me. But in, like, the greater society, I am being treated like everyone else because it's affecting me the same way.
I get what you mean with the affecting side of things. I mean, yeah, it does affect you. But I still think you would be affected if £2,000 dropped out of your bank each month.
Yes,
the same way that £4,500 dropped out of your bank.
Yeah, of course.
But I still think you'd feel that.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
You know, £2,000 a month is a lot of money.
That is so much money.
You know, and I get everybody can pay more. Like everyone could pay more, and that would because there's a lot of people that deserve it. But it's the fact that it should be, if you want other people to pay more, then everyone should pay more.
Yeah.
Or if 20% is enough, then 20% is enough for everyone. Like, just make it across the board. You know, that's all. And then I just think it's fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you mean. Because we're both talking about it being equal and fair.
Yeah.
But just from two different angles.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the fairest way to do it is keep it the same. You know?
I feel it's fairer to raise it.
Okay. Right. We need your comments below. We need help with this. We need your comments below on what you think is more fair and what you would say is right. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.